Hello and welcome to The Joint, where today we're going to be taking a closer look at one of my recent panic bought tobaccos. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to The Joint. Here we are on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I'm just sitting down here getting ready to enjoy a nice bowl of Vincent Manil Reserve du Patron. I think I'm saying that right, but I'm not entirely certain. But it comes in this like foil paper brick. It's just 3.5 ounce compressed tobacco into this one big brick. Now, you might think to yourself, I wonder how they preserve the moisture content in that. And the simple answer is they don't. This tobacco is very dry when you get it, and it's supposed to be that way, according to everything that I've read, and according to if you go to buy it, it says right in the description that it comes very dry, and I'm here to tell you that that is an understatement. It is drier than a popcorn fart up in here. So is that a bad thing? No, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Everybody has said that it tastes great and smokes good if you know how to pack it, and I'm here to back up that assertion that if you pack it nice and tight in your pipe, it's gonna smoke really, really nice, and the flavor is great. So what this is Semoy. No, it's Semoy. It's like a Belgian burley type of a tobacco. It's grown in a certain region in Belgium, in the Semoy Valley or something like that. Probably pronouncing that all wrong too, because stupid Americans. What do we know about anything? But anyway, I digress. I said I digress. I wish I hadn't used that word. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. This Vincent Manil Reserve du Patron is it's quite tasty tobacco. Now, what I'll do is I'll kind of show you right here what it kind of looks like when you unpack it from the package here. So what you have is just some really, some fine ribbon cut tobacco, and it is very dry, very, very crunchy and dry. I mean, if you take this, you can basically disintegrate it in your hand. And again, according to what I've read and have, and know about this stuff, that's the way that it's supposed to be. As a matter of fact, let me just pull this over here, put it next to the microphone, give you a listen. I don't know if you can hear that. Ow, man, that actually was a little pokey. So, that's what you're getting. That's what you should expect to get when you get this. If you order it, don't be surprised if it's really dry. I guess that's enough to be said about that. So today, I'm going to be smoking it in my Peterson Aaron sitter. And let's just go ahead and get a bowl packed, get into it, and I'll kind of give you some of my opinions or viewpoints or whatever. All right. So you're going to see me using the old geezer grabbing stuff for this because, well, you have to really, really crank it in there in order to get this to smoke the way that it's supposed to. The first bowl I had of this, I did not pack it very tight, and it lasted probably about 5 or 6 minutes, and I was done. It just smoked through that fast. So we're going to go ahead and just crank this in here pretty heavy. Rah! I was watching some videos about changing mower deck blades recently, and the guy said the torque specs on it was about 2 grunts, and so I'm going to steal that term, and I'm going to say that the level of pack in your pipe should be about 2 grunts. So we're going to say Okay, 2 grunts. Yes, that is just about right. So let me just go ahead and kind of clean up my area here, and then we'll get a light going, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got it packed. I got my area all cleaned up. So let me just show you this real quick. So this comes so dry, and it's a large quantity. I mean, this brick, once you unpack it, there's a lot. This is a 1-gallon freezer bag that I've got this stored in, and I'm just keeping it in a freezer bag because you know, it doesn't have much moisture in it to begin with, so I figure if I just keep it in this bag, it's probably good enough. And I don't have any large jars to put it in right at the moment, so I figure this is, hey, you know, this works, gets the job done. So let's just go ahead, grab a lighter, and light this bad boy up. Okay, guys, I have it lit, and now what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of try to keep this lit, try not to talk too much, and give you some of my takes on this stuff. Now, the first thing when you open this package, and you give it a whiff, matter of fact, I'm going to give it a whiff right now. If you've ever, you know, smoked a cigar, you are going to immediately recognize this smell, because this smells like a cigar. When you open the package and stick your nose in it, it smells like what you know, you in a cigar lounge or whatever, having a smoke, you smell the cigar before you give it a light. That's what this smells like. It smells like cigar. For whatever reason, I don't know if that's the same kind of tobacco they use to make cigars or not. I highly doubt it, but that's what it smells like. Now, don't let that fool you, though. It doesn't exactly taste like a cigar. I mean, it's kind of cigar-esque. You know, I smoke both. I smoke a cigar once in a while. And when you smoke this, you definitely get some of that flavor coming through. I mean, you can tell, you get kind of the same flavor as what it smells like in the tin, but it's not. Sometimes a cigar, when you smoke it, it's a lot heavier, especially in the mouth, or, you know, as far as what you get after you know, you're done taking a puff. And that's not really the case with this. You get maybe just a little bit of spiciness. Not a whole lot, but just a little. Kind of like what you get with a sort of a mildly spicy cigar. But as far as taste goes, it's definitely something all its own. I mean, it's not like any pipe tobacco I've ever smoked, and it's definitely not like a cigar 100%. I mean, there's essence of cigar, but that's it. And I've smoked several bowls of this now, and there's a certain flavor that I'm detecting, and I'm trying to pinpoint kind of what it reminds me of. And when I pinpoint it and say it, it's probably going to take you guys by surprise. You're going to be like, what in the crap? You sure you didn't add a little bit of that wacky tobacco in there? No, I promise you, this is pure Simois. It's maybe just a little bit florally, but I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right now, and this is going to sound stupid. It's going to sound crazy, but it kind of gives me the same profile as like movie theater popcorn. Maybe, and I don't know what it is, whether it's the popcorn flavor, or maybe there's just a little bit of a butteriness to it. This is a whole new thing for me. This is a whole different type of tobacco than I'm used to. So we're breaking new ground here. But that's what I'm getting. I mean, and not to say that it's like, you know, just shoving a handful of movie theater popcorn in your mouth and chewing it up. That's not what I'm saying at all. It just kind of has that essence. It kind of gives you that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. When I take a puff of this and then I just let it out. It reminds me of movie theater popcorn for some stupid reason. Now, as you can see, I still have it lit. Gosh, that's good. And I think that's one thing I like about this tobacco is that I can talk. I can set my pipe down for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and not have to worry about having to relight it because it's so dry. If you get it packed just right, the fact that it's really dry means that it's not just going to extinguish itself due to the moisture in the tobacco. Really, all that's left there is just tobacco. And I guess that's another thing, too. That's a reason why you get so much is because when they say 3.5 ounces of tobacco, you get 3.5 ounces of tobacco, not 3 ounces of tobacco and a half an ounce of water. You're getting pretty much all tobacco, which in a value sense is probably a good thing. I'm not going to complain about that at all. And honestly, I'm glad that I have so much of this because, now that I've smoked this quite a couple bowls, maybe like 3 or 4 bowls, this is probably bowl number 4, I'm going to guess. I don't know for sure that it has earned a regular spot in my tobacco cabinet. However, I'm glad I have a lot of it because I'm going to want to smoke this quite a bit just to find out. And honestly, just based on my gut feel right now, the way this stuff tastes, it's going to wind up being it's going to wind up being a keeper, I think. Yeah. What I said before about a little bit of floral and then kind of a buttery flavor and popcorn. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of buttered popcorn with a little bit of floral mixed in, and that's what I'm getting. And I'll be honest, it is pleasant to smoke this because you don't have to work real hard to keep it lit. It just stays lit. It's not hard you get it lit and it just stays lit. If you get your bowl packed appropriately, this will burn all the way down. Every single one of these bowls that I've smoked of this stuff, it's burned all the way down to just straight ash. And that's a very rare occasion for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. I always not wind up with just a little bit of, dawdle down in the bottom that's just soaking wet, and there's no way to smoke it because there's no way you could even catch it, light it, just because it's so wet down in there.
That's what she said.
Another thing about this tobacco is that I do not believe that I am picking up anything other than tobacco. There is no additives, no casings, no flavorings, no nothing. This is just strictly tobacco, which is interesting because of the rich flavors that you're getting when you smoke it. I mean, you would think that they would have added something, but there's nothing else there. This is just purely the tobacco plant itself and nothing else. All right, so I've smoked about a third of this bowl so far. Let me smoke this down just a little bit further, and then we'll see what happens if any flavors change, or if anything changes, or any flavors come out, or any flavors go away. Stand by. Okay, so we're back. I'm probably about halfway through now. I haven't smoked a whole lot, or I haven't finished the bowl. I'm not down to the last third yet, but something that I've noticed the past couple of times I've smoked it, and I'm certainly noticing it now, is it seems to have a pretty high nicotine content. Now, that, in my opinion, generally I consider that as a negative, because when I smoke a pipe, I don't like to get that nicotine high. Now in this one, most pipe tobaccos, I don't even notice nicotine. In some pipe tobaccos, it'll make me just start to feel queasy and sick. This one, I can tell that I'm feeling it, but it's not to the intensity of some other tobaccos that I've smoked. It's, I know it's there, but it's not enough to make me nauseous or, feel uncomfortable. It's just there. I kind of start to get just like a feeling right here when it starts to hit, and that's usually where it begins, and then it moves to making my stomach feel queasy, making me dizzy. However, with this stuff, I just hit that first stage, and then it stays there. So, in my opinion, that's acceptable. I can't say that it's a good thing. I would actually prefer if it wasn't there, but just the way that it smokes, the way that it stays lit, and the fact that it tastes so stinking good more than makes up for that. And the room note in here is absolutely amazing. I know that some people probably wouldn't think so, but I tend to be a little biased, so take that for what it is. Generally speaking, I like the way pretty much any pipe tobacco smells, whether it's Latakia or Oriental or Virginia or whatever, Burley, it doesn't really matter. I tend to like it all. So the fact that I'm saying I like the room note of this one should come as no surprise, but there you have it. Another thing that sometimes tends to happen with tobaccos with a high nicotine content is that the nicotine actually starts to make me have the hiccups. And while I'm not having that issue right now, I have had that issue with one or two of the previous bowls of this that I smoked, in that if I puff on it too hard, if I'm freaking freight training it, then it hits a little bit harder and does give me the hiccups. Is that a weird thing for nicotine to give you hiccups? I don't even know. Is that just me? Am I just screwball in the head or something? Or is that a normal biological response to nicotine? I don't know. I mean, I've smoked cigarettes in the past. They never gave me the hiccups. I tried chewing once and then never did it again because it made me just absolutely nauseous, and to this day I can't stand the smell of chewing tobacco, but that's a whole nother story. I don't remember that giving me the hiccups either, but I was in such bad shape that I probably could have chopped off my leg and I wouldn't have noticed. So this one here, that has happened too. So I would say the nicotine in this is medium to high. I wouldn't say that this is the strongest there ever was, but it's definitely there. It's something to watch out for if you do smoke this and you are a little bit sensitive to higher nicotine tobaccos. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'm approaching the 2/3 mark in this bowl, and the flavor has not changed much. However, it has changed a little. I'm going to say that it definitely starts to taste more like a cigar the further down in the bowl you get. I'm still getting the kind of the buttery popcorn taste, but it definitely is morphing more towards a cigar. I still think it's weird that it tastes like this, just because when you smoke a tobacco, you don't expect it to remind you so much of something else that is completely unrelated, but that's just what it is, the buttery popcorn type of flavor. And you may smoke this and be like, what the heck was that Justin even talking about? That guy's a moron. But hey, I just call it as I see it, or in this case, as I taste it. So
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Something else that I just realized it kind of reminds me of is old upholstery. The way that old upholstery, like in a car, would smell. My Charger has, it's got the old vinyl seats, and every time you get into the car, if the windows have been closed for a certain period of time, it has a certain smell to it, which I absolutely love. And I'm getting just a hint of that too, and I don't know why or what that is causing that. But, and maybe that's another reason why I like it so much, is because it's reminding me of something else in my life that I absolutely adore. Who knows? All right, guys, I'm approaching the end of the bowl, so I think that means that I'm approaching the end of this video. Bottom line is, I really do like this stuff, and while what I said holds true, I'm not certain that this is going to earn a regular spot in my cabinet. I'm inching closer towards that becoming a reality. Honestly, it's not too terribly expensive, and you get a lot of tobacco for your money. So take that for what it is. I will definitely be enjoying the rest of what I have, even if I don't decide to purchase some more for a little while. So there you go. Vincent Manil, Reserve du Patron. Probably pronouncing that wrong. But anyway, until next time, right here in the joint, we will see you guys later.